Hello and welcome to Design Hustle, where we talk about a bunch of creative things related to design thinking. We started this channel with the intent of creating value for anyone who needs help with their hustle. If you're a freelancer who needs a tip or two on how to close clients, then do watch till the very end, because this has a lot of stuff that we have learned over the years running a design agency and collaborating with many clients for brand, marketing, website designs, video creation, and whatnot, all distilled into this short video. So getting right down to it, what we've learned talking to so many potential clients is that success isn't only about the deliverables, but also the transformative journey that helps the client reach their goal. So the idea is to focus as much as possible on the changes you'll bring. Emphasize the outcomes and the transformative journey you offer to your clients. Talk about the metrics and the impact that you can make with what you bring to the table. Try and focus as much as possible on the goals they will achieve by collaborating with you. And here are a couple of examples of how exactly we try and show this to the client. So here's a deck that we put together in a matter of 2-3 days, showing a real quick competitor analysis, giving some ideas to a potential client with respect to what they can do with their e-commerce store and what kind of social media strategies they can adopt so that their sales get better. Here's another where we quickly audited the website, just pointed out some flaws that exist that could get fixed, some quick competitor analysis of what other people are doing in the same space that we could draw inspiration from. And as soon as we show something like this, it becomes very evident to the client in general what kind of impact you can make if they collaborate with you. So the idea is to sell your value add more than your price, right? If you can distinguish yourself from others by showcasing your value, then you've made it a little easier to convince your client later on when it comes to the price point. Talk about your process, the ease they'll have collaborating with you, how efficient things are and how you don't miss timelines, and just gain their confidence a little bit with the other things that you bring to the table. Providing a comprehensive overview of how you can contribute to their brand and business definitely helps. And this is where portfolio pages kind of come in. So this is a quick example of how our portfolio is set up, right? Where if anybody comes, of course, they can see the different things that we have done. But more importantly, if they see a particular portfolio page, for example, they get very clear information about what the expectation was, why we took some decisions that we did in terms of what the output was, and they get a good idea about the kind of process that we'd adopt when they collaborate with us for whatever the need may be. And having portfolio pages across different spaces makes it a little easier to convince clients when they come for different asks. Here, for example, is about our approach to creating a website, the kind of stuff that we did, what kind of UX we thought of, and things like that. If you want a few tips on how you could create portfolio pages, then this video is for you. Do check out our playlist breakdowns for more on portfolio building. Back to closing clients successfully, have an impressive process in place. We just talked about how portfolio pages could be used to demonstrate these very clearly and simply to your clients. This not only portrays professionalism, but also instills trust. It makes them feel confident that you all could successfully partner together on the project. So here, for example, when we talk to our client about social media content creation across different platforms, we showed them a process of how we have an omni-channel distribution strategy, where you create an article, from the article you could extract tweets, the article could get repurposed to become a video. And I talk more about these kind of strategies that could actually help you create content more efficiently in this video. But yeah, the idea largely is to kind of run them through the process in general just to gain their confidence as much as possible. This is another example of how beforehand itself, we show a calendar of why and how we want to release the content on the different social media platforms, just so that they know how we're thinking of approaching this. Avoid discussing numbers. And of course, at some point you have to, there's no running away from it. But the idea is to kind of do the things that we just discussed before so that they first gained your trust and they know that you're very capable and credible to actually collaborate with them. And then after that, it becomes much easier to actually discuss financials. In the first 1-2 meetings, try and showcase your personality and present your services in a personalized manner. Some of the decks that I just showed you are good examples of how. Okay, now that we've seen the what in terms of the kind of things that we can do to improve our chances of closing a client, let's have a look at a little bit of the how. Here's where imagery and words that appeal to your audience, in this case the client, comes in. The idea is to craft a compelling marketing pitch at the end of the day, right? And using impactful words as much as possible to get that emotion is the way to go about things. I already showed you earlier on some pitch decks that we have made for clients in the past just to convince them that we are the right people to partner with. But what kind of words did we actually use in there? You. Basically personalize the interaction as much as possible to create a connection of, that customer-centric engagement. Quality. Of course, quality. At the end of the day, if they want to partner with you, they're hoping that the output that comes out at the end of the day is the best possible that they could ever get. So hinging on that to show that you could exceed their expectations definitely helps. Easy. Of course, who wants to partner with somebody it gets challenging to work with? And how exactly can we show this to the client? This is where the process thing that I was talking about earlier comes in. Maybe we make a Canva template for them for their social media creatives just to show them at some point that if they don't want to continue with you, they could create the content themselves. That's how easy you'll make this entire process for them. Fast. Of course, everybody comes as if it's a ticking time bomb to get the job done. And if you can convince them that you're the best person to make it happen in time, then it's a partnership made in heaven at the end of the day, right? Free. This of course attracts attention, but at the same time, it shouldn't be a scam, so to say. So when we share the pitch deck, we've actually done some work where we've probably done competitor analysis or a bit of an audit of their current brand presence or maybe a website breakdown. And we've potentially done this for free just to let them know that, hey, we care and we've put in some time to do this even though we haven't been paid for it. But here's an opportunity to upsell later. Point being, when you've gained their confidence and actually done something for them for free at the very beginning, it just becomes a little easier later on to seal the deal. Risk-free. The idea is to instill trust as much as possible and minimize uncertainties. And with whatever imagery or words we could use to kind of extend that confidence to the client, job well done, I guess. So yeah, incorporating these words, kind of taking this angle or perspective in your pitch deck will definitely help you build a stronger customer connection in general and definitely improve your chances to closing clients successfully. I hope you enjoyed this video and picked a thing or two that could help you in your hustle. If so, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.